Imagine a world where the most powerful empire in history was never Rome. A world where the eagle standards never rose above Europe, and instead the Nile became the cradle of global domination. What if Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt, not only resisted Roman conquest, but conquered Rome itself? Today, on Dust of Ages, we step into a timeline of power, betrayal, and destiny rewritten. The rise of a queen. To begin, let's return to 48 BCE. Cleopatra VII, brilliant, ambitious, and deeply political, faces the threat of Roman expansion. In our history, she allied with Julius Caesar and later Mark Antony, but Egypt still fell to Rome. But what if Cleopatra played her cards differently? What if she used her wit, her wealth, and Egypt's resources to outmaneuver Rome at its peak? A new alliance. Instead of binding her fate solely to Caesar or Antony, Cleopatra could have forged a grand alliance. Egypt, with the Parthian Empire to the east and rebellious Gallic tribes in the west. Rome, stretched thin by constant wars, would suddenly face enemies on multiple fronts, with Egypt at the heart of this resistance. The fall of Rome's generals. Picture this: Roman legions marching into the deserts of Egypt, only to be trapped by the heat, outmaneuvered by Egyptian cavalry, and cut off from supplies by fleets on the Mediterranean. Cleopatra, unlike any pharaoh before her, turns Egypt into not just a kingdom, but a military powerhouse. The generals of Rome, Pompey, Caesar, Antony, fall one by one, not to each other, but to Cleopatra's calculated strategy. The Egyptian empire rises. Rome falls not with fire, but with surrender. The eternal city, once the master of the Mediterranean, bows before the queen of the Nile. Cleopatra enters Rome not as a prisoner, but as a conqueror. Imagine the Colosseum bearing hieroglyphs, the Senate forced to swear loyalty to Alexandria, and Latin slowly merging with Egyptian tongue. A new empire is born, the Egyptian-Roman Empire, with Cleopatra as its divine ruler. How history changes. If this timeline had unfolded, the world would look unrecognizable today. Christianity, which spread under Roman rule, may never rise to global power. Instead, the Egyptian pantheon, Isis, Osiris, Horus, might dominate Europe. The Renaissance might begin not in Florence, but in Alexandria. Science, mathematics, and astronomy, already advanced in Egypt, could accelerate centuries earlier. The world might not be speaking English, French, or Spanish, but a fusion of Greek and Egyptian. Legacy of Cleopatra. And so, Cleopatra, remembered in our history as the tragic queen who lost everything, becomes, in this alternate timeline, the most powerful woman in human history. The queen who not only defied Rome, but replaced it. A reminder that the past is never set in stone, and history could have been rewritten by the choices of a single ruler. So what do you think? Could Cleopatra have truly conquered Rome, or was the might of the legions simply too great? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing your alternate history takes. If you enjoyed this journey through a world that might have been, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is Dust of Ages, where we breathe life into the forgotten, the speculative, and the timeless. Until next time, remember, history isn't just what happened, it's what could have happened.